In your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 My lady and I got my shine. Money in my pocket and we're feeling fine. Radio's loud and we're playing Sublime. I think it's gonna be a good day, my oh my. I can't believe I made it this far, it's a miracle. Floating in the clouds now, used to be miserable. Never looking back since I changed my ways. I'm on that good life tip today. I'm looking for the good life, good life. Sitting on top of the world, I wanna be shining like diamonds and pearls. I want you to go there with me, girl. I'm looking for the good life, good life. Baby, we can have it all. We can make love by the waterfalls. I'm living that good life after all. Yeah. La da da da, good life, sitting by the fire. La da day, good life, feeling that breeze.
What is going on, everybody? I hope you're having a great morning. Hope you had a great weekend. Crypto market is pumping, so I hope you got a little bit more money in that crypto wallet. That bing, bada, bing, ching, ching, big profit as we kick off this week. And hopefully it's going to be a great week for cryptocurrency and for the rest of the general markets. From what I can see so far, it seems like everything is doing pretty well and could be reason to celebrate over the next little while, because in the last couple of hours, we have seen capital re-enter the market that we haven't seen since, I don't know, a couple days ago, because that's how volatile things are. Now, could this be a dead cat bounce and a move again? You know, blah, 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 blah. Well, the answer to that is, of course, it could be. We're going to see what happens over the next bunch of hours. This is all relatively new. When we went to sleep last night, we were at 1.03 trillion in market cap. So we wake up this morning, we're at 1.043 trillion in market cap. And the United States markets look like they're ready for a nice big pump. Now, when you start to see that, that's how you start getting a little bit happy with what's going on in your overall markets. And not only that, but we got the last week I said that according to Satoshi, and look, I'm getting a little tired of Satoshi already. Last week we were told that if he makes one more post, then that means that here comes Shibarium. And what did he do? Made one more post, and we still don't have Shibarium. We just got it's imminent or as soon as possible. And then we got the release of an intake website where if you're interested in joining the ecosystem and working through the ecosystem, that you're able to now log in there and sign up with them, and that you would be notified as everything happens. Well, that's not what you said a couple days ago. So I get a feeling right now. I'm getting this feeling about Shib that that he's trying to use the old things that used to work back in the old days of just keeping the hype going before the reality, and using it to create a pump for the investors. And I mean, that's fine, but it becomes shallow at some point. And I think that this reached a point of shallowness because, you know, this would have a long time ago, knowing this had happened would have resulted in a massive pump, right? It dumped by a few percent, you know, even while the rest of the market is pumping. So, you know, we have to be very careful with what we're looking at right now. You know, it's very, very, very difficult to read what's going on there. So we're gonna do the best that we can, but we're gonna lead off with Mr. P. Good morning. Timski. Good morning. Cash in the house. What is up? We got lightning bolts flooding. Lando here with the lightning bolts. Martin Morrow, J. Manuel, Lysergic Acid. Logan's here. Texas Crypto. Good morning, Kamal. CEO 100. Dondo's in the house. Honda's here. Tom Collide making his presence known. Daniel vaulting his way into chat. Jeff T's here. Richie's Plain Talk. Dangerous Crypto. G-Man is here. Isabel is here. Good morning from Shanghai. A salute. Thank you for tuning in. Ryan Lee is here. Ryo is here. Dopey Dude is here. Design DNA in the house. Vitalij is here. Aaron's is here. Justin Hultman is in the house. And Crypto Stevo is here. Good morning to everybody. I hope you're having a great morning. The crypto market, we'll see. But for sure, 100%, the U.S. pre-markets are up 244 points, 35 and 140 on NASDAQ, which would be the indicator that we are going to have at least a strong sort of rebound for the morning. The cryptocurrency market is at 1.072 trillion, 37 billion in trading volume on a 24-hour period. And that is not something that you want to see. That's not good trading volume, but that is good throwing money at crypto volume. And you can see over here, we're at 1.042 trillion dollars. And over the last hour or two, you can look right here and you can see the capital started entering the market 3 o'clock when the European markets opened, and it's been coming in pretty quickly and pretty rapidly. There's something at play right here. You can see the big wick right there. You can see the crossover already happening down here. You can see the MACD going into the green. That's the overall and general market. You can see the same situation happening with Bitcoin. You can see the same situation happening with Bitcoin. You can see the same situation happening over here with Ethereum. You start to see it happening everywhere, except you're not seeing the same thing play out on SHIB right now. So is SHIB running behind? Will it catch up? I don't know if there's a move for it, but it's down 0.5% while Bitcoin and Ethereum are pumping super hard. Also, MEXC, the MX token, is up massive in the last bunch of days. Look, MEXC has been running hard, and we've got this crossover not yet happening, but about to happen, and we've got the money flow going into the positive. So if you're looking to make a play on MEXC, now, obviously, I wouldn't tell you to buy at the top of anything. I would wait for at least a little bit of a retracement here, and I haven't really done anything other than obviously 123 right here is a major area, and I'm going to throw just so I have something down. I'm going to put it right there so that you can see that there is a line right there, obvious to everybody, that it's been bouncing off of for a little while. If I were going to make a play on it, I would absolutely 100% wait until it came back down into this area. That's a big move right there. No matter whether you're crossing over or not, that still feels like a big move. So I wouldn't make a move on this yet, but it's good to see them pumping. Since I started making posts about MX token, it's pumped 8%. Like, is that because of me? I don't think so. But I mean, why argue, right? Why argue? Anyway, so let's take a big look over here at back at the cryptocurrency market. We can see here that the 24-hour percentages are pretty big on some of these. NEM has now entered the top 100. Stacks 22%. Then you have your basic you have your basic 3 to 4 to 5% up to 10% pumps, and then you have what's going on with the boom Bitcoin and Ethereum markets. Now, let's get into news to see what is going on for the most part here, get an idea of what we're looking for, right? And we're going to start off with an article here that says, here's why you should look out for Shiba Inu, Solana, and Bitcoin this week. Shiba Inu, each time the lead developer of the network, Satoshi, makes an announcement around Shibarium, both the above-mentioned tokens start to soar. Now, are we seeing them start to soar? Well, we're not. And that was my point. The well is running dry on the pump. So I think people are looking at it and they're like, you know what? The guy just makes posts and then nothing happens. So I think people are starting to realize that is probably not what they want to see. They want to see some actual movement out of Shibarium at this point. the FOMO pumps are done until you say, hey, we're launching in 5 days. And when you say, hey, we're launching in 5 days, then you're going to see a run up. And by the way, if there is a run up, I do think that there's going to be a big run up, by the way. And it is entirely possible. We got to go to a day chart to see it here, but it's entirely possible that yellow line right there. I know I got a lot of lines, but it's my chart. But 3,600 is roughly the maximum level that I can see Shiba going to. Now, it's always possible that it just absolutely breaks out. But what I did was I took, what's the maximum positive sentiment? The maximum positive sentiment on Shiba Inu was about $50 billion in market cap. Where we at right now? $7 billion in market cap. What does that represent? Maybe about 1/3, roughly. It's not exactly. It's more like 27%, but just hear me out. So the idea was maybe maybe Shiba could have a run to say 20 billion, 21 billion Bitcoin. 21 billion market cap, and then that would be about a 3,600, somewhere in the 3,600 range, and that seems like the absolute best that it could do at this point, even though there is a major resistance right here at this 2,800 level. So there is the possibility that this thing does start to run pretty good and pretty fast, and this is not that far away. You know what I mean? Like it feels like this is not that far away from some of these other big time runs, and it's so due right now for a positive and for a big move, right, to show some recovery. So I do think that something's happening. I do think that we're getting there. I just don't think that we're there yet. So we'll see how it happens. But let's move on from there and go to Solana. Solana's been a hot topic of discussion. The news came a couple of days after the network closed the doors to its physical store. Therefore, things aren't going too well for Solana. The price of the asset recorded a dip yesterday. However, it soon managed to recover. But remember, it did go out the other day. Block production did start to wear itself down again, and that is a problem. So is this level right here, is this little trend line here, is that going to be sustainable? I don't think so. I think we're probably looking at more of, if I'm making the argument here, then I'm making the argument that this right here, this trend line right there, is probably a little more valid than this little pump right here. Because you can always just kind of look at those and find them wherever you want. Doesn't mean that they maintain. You're looking for them as an idea of where you are, but you can't put that one down and invalidate everything's been happening up here that's providing itself as a level and a layer of resistance. There has to be a breakout, and I don't think we've seen a breakout yet on Solana. So as long as it keeps failing, we're going to continue to have a little bit of a problem here. Bitcoin was influenced by the broader financial market. Now, here's the good thing, right? The U.S. equities market ended with a lower closing price. This further marked last week as the worst week for equities in 2023. The NASDAQ Composite saw the largest loss of 1.69, followed by the S&P at 1.05 and the Dow at 1.02. Bitcoin, on the other hand, began surging. The King coin was rising by 1.07 and was priced at 23,399 during press time. So those things being taken into account, it is entirely possible that we see Bitcoin get on a run because it will correlate itself back into the overall and broader equities market. If it does that, then we're in for another leg of this run up. And I want to go back and I want to talk again about, and we're going to look at this chart one more time because we're going to look at this until you guys are sick of it, I think. But I am telling you right now, there is more to come. The IMF prefers to regulate crypto banning than to outright ban it. Now that so the managing director Kristalina Georgieva says, and look, this is being run at the minister meeting in Bengaluru, India. They're preferring to start to get some regulation, some worldwide regulation. I don't know if the United States participates in this. At the end of it, I think we come up with our own regulation. I think our regulation, by the way, is probably sophisticated enough to handle everything. Remember, Pocahontas, what's her name? The crazy chick with the short hair that pretends like I like Bernie. God damn it. Whatever her name was. That crazy lady wants to regulate everything, and that's no bueno, right? So then you have a few more people who just want to have a nice little bit of regulation. They want to have a little bit more control. Why? Because they got exposed by Sam Bankman-Fried for all of this money that they've been accepting from him in order to get favorable regulation that's good for FTX, which ended up collapsing. Now we're starting to yell about now we start yelling just like Janet Yellen. Then we start yelling. The regulation is just ridiculous. The whole idea here is control. They want to control what you can make, what you can do. It's just, look, the Bitcoin was founded on a libertarian principle of get your hand out of my money, and that's the way it's going to end up staying. But the regulation is sufficient right now. Here's basically what I think is going on for politicians. Hello, my name is BLEEVESCRYPTO, and I'm running for office right now, and I know that you're scared. So here's what I think. Crypto is the problem. And if you think crypto is the problem, and you're conservative, and you think that Jesus, et cetera, and then you should vote for me, because I am here to take care of you from the bad boogeymen, right? So you're using this whole idea here because the world had problems. Well, guess what? We didn't have problems in America, right? The problems in America, look, if you got wrecked from FTX, if you really got wrecked from FTX, then you were using a proxy, you were using some kind of VPN client, and you were cheating, because it didn't collapse over here. Now, they did file bankruptcy on it over here, but it didn't collapse over here, right? So what do you do at that point, right? Well, you make regulation, you start coming up with boogeymen, you start crying about stuff, and then people are like, oh, it must be bad. It absolutely must be bad. It has to be bad because they're saying it's bad. It must be bad. So that's what's going on. Like, there's no real problem here that exists. They're just creating a problem that doesn't exist to make it exist, because I'm using T-Mobile Wi-Fi. That's how I get it, Gary. You should regulate T-Mobile. Anyway, so the IMF is going to come up with some kind of idea. You can see here, like, managing director Kristalina Georgieva says, fully backed stablecoins create a reasonably good space for the economy, but non-backed crypto assets are speculative, high risk, and not money, she added. And that is a fair enough estimate for you to start regulation. Now, if you regulate and you say at that point, okay, so as long as you're a backed stablecoin and you're a one-to-one, then we're in, right? And we don't have a problem with you. Then that goes against Goldman Gary trying to do his crazy shit, right? So there is a lot of opportunity here to come up with reasonable regulation for the world. So, I mean, we'll see how it goes. Now, at the end of the day, everybody wants their cut of your check, right? Every government wants their hand in that cookie jar, because that's how they continue to steal your cookies, is by you giving them some of your cookies, and then they saying, that's not enough cookie, give me more cookie, or whatever they do. But that's, at least we've got some idea that it's being worked on, and it's not being worked on by people who hate cryptocurrency. There you go. So let's move on from that one. Cryptocurrency is resilient despite weaker equity markets, increased regulatory activity. Citibank. So Citibank is even out here saying, look, cryptocurrency is holding up very, 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 very well. So I think, and I don't have any point to this article other than to point out that this just reaffirms exactly what we've been saying right here, that this whole market is waiting. And I think Bitcoin, that the broader crypto market is about to have another leg up. Bitcoin eyes 25% of world's wealth in new $10 million Bitcoin price prediction. Look, Jesse Myers, who is I don't know who the hell Jesse Myers is, but apparently they're a big they're a big somebody, at least in their own mind. They are a Bitcoin fund manager and Bitcoin expert advisor. Jesse Myers reveals his own outrageous Bitcoin price target. Can we at least recognize here, before we switch over here? Can we at least recognize that this guy's probably no more qualified than I am for Bitcoin, right? And they're making articles about this guy. They should be making articles about me. I've been more right than this prick, right? So let's just see what happens. But Jesse Myers, in a blog post released February 16, revealed his own outrageous Bitcoin price target. Myers says Bitcoin could 500x over the coming decades. Bitcoin may struggle with brutal volatility, but holders and critics alike should be in no doubt that there is a long-term price trajectory. This guy says it would be crazy, right? It'd be like crazy, bro. Like $10 million Bitcoin by the time I retire. You know what I mean? and if it doesn't go there, bro, I'm retired, so who cares, right? Bitcoin has an unthinkable property. It gets more valuable over time. Gold is good at storing purchasing power, but Bitcoin grows purchasing power. Such an idea is not new. It forms the core thesis of many popular takes on Bitcoin. Among them, Saif Dean's Amos seminal book, The Bitcoin Standard. Getting down to the numbers, meanwhile, Meyer calculated the global allocation into Bitcoin at 0.05% of available wealth as of 2023. Oh my God, I said 200. God damn it. 400 billion. That's 1/2000th of global asset value. With that in mind, we have to ask ourselves an important question. When Bitcoin mechanic continues to play out, will more than 0.05% of the world's capital eventually realize it wants to be in an asset like that? I think the only logical conclusion is yes. That realization, Meyer forecast, means that a $10 million per Bitcoin should be a conservative estimate. So this guy's going for broke and doing some YOLO level shit. So recognize, I guess. But remember, this is the important part to me. We should always remember this. Retail, two places. Retail is part of two places, part of Bitcoin and part of Shiba Inu. And when we see a lot of addresses, a lot of wallet addresses starting to enter, then that means that retail is coming back. So Shiba Inu addresses shatter all-time highs above 3.145 million as Shibarium prepares for liftoff. Now, we don't have a date for Shibarium, by the way, but we do have that there are more wallet addresses than ever. Okay. Now, with that being said, we're going to talk about Shib for just a second here. Shibarium, this guy with 7,000 followers, and there's people with 400,000 followers that are asking the same question, and it's this right here. Yesterday at 12:39 p.m., Elon Musk posted, "Hope you have a good Sunday, first day of the rest of your life." So then Shytoshi at 2:39 p.m. post, "Here's to the first day of the rest of our lives. Shibarium intake form is live for Shib Army," right? So then everybody's saying, is this a coincidence? No, it's not a coincidence. It's Shytoshi seeing that Elon posted something at 12:39, and then they took they took the opportunity to move over there, and he set this to go out exactly 2 hours later. Why? Because that's the hype train. He's trying to create the hype. Is there a coincidence to it? No, that's nonsense. Because here, first of all, we have to understand Elon can only do so much between creating Volt, running Tesla, running SpaceX, and Twitter. He has no more time, so he doesn't have any time for these other tokens, right? He's too busy volting. So, but finally here, now this is where I said, we have a problem with Shib, and it's a small problem with Shib, right? And it says, "Ooh, Richie, Thank you for the $20 bomb. We need a petition to remove Gensler from office. Dude, I think that petition is Tom Emmer in the oversight committee, and I do believe that they are working on that right now. They do not believe that he is qualified to continue doing what it is that he's doing. So I do think that the efforts are being made right now to talk to Joe Biden to get him to remove Gary Gensler from office. I do believe that that is happening and that is underway. Now, I also believe that the Biden administration is not really dovish on Bitcoin to begin with, but I think that some reasonable minds in there also recognize that the problems, again, are overseas and they are not in the United States. So I do think that we're going to probably see something happen near term. So we'll see what happens here. But this is the intake form, and you come over here to Shiba Swap. And as you come down here, you can see right here, if you want to join Shibarium, you can go right in here, and here is your intake form. You can start right there, and it tells you how you want to join. You want to Web 3 and 4, Web 3 and 4. Bring your business to Shibarium, become a validator, work with Shib, create content with us, create stuff with us. So there's an opportunity right there if you want to become part of this ecosystem to get something going. There you go. The opportunity is there, but that has not led to price action, right? That has not led to a pump in the chart because people are tired and they want to see something. They don't want to just see the hype continue. So, by the way, this really looked like it was going to break out to the upside. It did not. Broke to the downside early on this channel, but it looks like it might be getting back in, and it may even make a move to the upside. After all, it would be insane. By the way, it would be absolutely crazy to see it break down like this. And the broader markets, by the way, have just been crazy, right? So it breaks down, it even breaks the support here at 1220, right? For just a little while. When you zoom in, you can see here, like it wasn't even 4 hours. It wasn't enough time for like some real confirmation. But you can see right here, broke down just a little bit, and people are like, oh my God, what's happening? And then it got bought right back up. Perfect opportunity for accumulation. Perfect opportunity for accumulation. Now, the question is, how much more does it move up, right? That's the question. Oh, and by the way, for those of you that don't know, let's go sidetrack here. There it is. I was playing I was playing VDSC yesterday. So, yeah, there it is, baby. Woo! I don't know if that sounds like Ric Flair or not. I don't care. It felt like it. You know what I mean? Like it felt like somebody was throwing me into the turnbuckle, and I was doing a body flip, rolling myself over the ropes, running down the ropes, and I was about to jump off the top rope with a chop on them. You know what I mean? Like some old school Ric Flair stuff. But yeah, there we go. So, but moving on. So we've got the market moving in the right direction. We've got the Dow Jones getting ready to start. Jesus Christ, am I losing my mind? Is Dow not running today? By the way, let's see what time. Market opens in less than 1 minute. Okay, so we're gonna have a market today. There's no more presidents that we're celebrating right now. So the market is about to open. When it opens, we're gonna go from down 366 probably to up around 220, 230. We'll see. We'll get an idea, which is going to be, by the way, down 336 and up 220 or 240 in that market is going to create an enormous gap. And there it goes right there. We had an enormous gap that's going to happen right there. And I honestly hope Voltoshi is. It's not really Elon. I mean, we're just playing around with that. So that's it's not. But it's pretty fun. Look, we're doing the same. Like when you're in Volt, you're doing the same thing that Shib is doing. You're just leaning into some associations or some potential associations. Saying, I don't know, but maybe. So it's not really that way. But so markets are open. We're starting to get some pump back into the market. Now, where can we expect to see kind of a move here? Well, we're going to get some resistance, which we're already getting. Of course, you can see it right here at 1.044 trillion market cap, because right there, this is where we are. And you can see that we got resistance and support, resistance. This is support, all of this. Then we've got resistance right here. We've got support right here. We've got support right here. We've got resistance right here. So this is going to be a level of contention. This is going to be one of those spots where we're going to be struggling to get over. And if we get over, where does it go? And then that answer becomes probably what are we at? 1.053 trillion. So it looks like we got an easy move to 1.053 trillion if we can get that move back in here. Then from there, it looks like 1.059 trillion becomes the next play to that upside. And then, we just start looking at these and start seeing where do we go? Where can we go? How far does it get? And yeah, so let's move over here and let's get up here at first. NGN yesterday had a buy party. And it led to a nice little pump in the price action. Now, the question is, can it sustain that position? Can it sustain that price action? So we'll see how it measures up, because, of course, what did it lead to? Led to a whole bunch of Jeets doing their stuff and selling down. And, that's to be expected. Anytime you have one of these kind of, pumps, and people are, and this is the investors that are already in it, buying a little bit more to hold a better price on the chart in order to attract more investors, to show them that this is some opportunity. So it's up 23% on the day. Remember, we got in here, when we got in, it was for, we got in for $116, which is now 3.69 ETH. So we're in for 5-6 grand, something like that. We're up 57% right now, or 57x. So still haven't sold. Now, Floki is not doing what I anticipated it doing. It's actually creating this resistance. It's fighting right here. And I put two resistance levels down here because they're really close together. And as you can see, like, it's really fighting in between these two. Like, this is just a zone. There's just a zone right there of resistance and support that it's had, and it looks like it's headed back up. Now, I am of the mind that I thought that it was going to break down here to the 200 SMA at some point, but it seems to be holding its way on the upside of the 50. So I'm not sure. If you look at, we come down here and we look at the buys and the sells, then you see here, new investor, new positions. There's new positions. There's people here that are pumping the chart with it, and same numbers over and over again. But you have new investors. You still have new people coming in instead of just a whole bunch of bots and shit buying the chart. So Floki still got some enthusiasm behind it, and over the long term, that's going to serve them very, very, very well. So Wiz sitting at 38.17 right now, just waiting for that moment where Pulse Chain launches. Thank you for the $10 bomb. Please, I've been trying to buy NGN for the last 2 weeks in my Trust wallet, but it's buffering and not processing. Where else can I buy NGN? I don't know where you're VoltaChange or Uniswap. I don't know about Trust Wallet or how Trust Wallet is or isn't working. I don't use Trust Wallet, so I have no idea. Coinbase and MetaMask are the two that I use and seem to be working just fine. So try VoltaChange, try Uniswap, see what happens, and you should be able to make your purchase there. Next generation network. As a matter of fact, if you go to VoltaChange right here, you should be able to just pop it right in. And it is a supported token on this network, so it's going to be very easy for you to do. So anyway, moving on. Terra 2, I mean, it's moving. It's starting to get its position. I got my tokens. My tokens were worth, you know, I put in $5,000 not too long ago, and it was down to about 1 ETH, and it's still at like 1 ETH. So, close enough, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, so now I'm just waiting to see if it can get on a run, start to do something, and you know, I'm just going to let it sit for a while, let them do their thing, let them continue to build their exchange, let them continue to build, and you know, see what happens. Just kind of sit it on the sideline and let it go. MMAI at 37.98, not really moving too much. Shib 12.76. Again, little bit of a move here, but not too much. Like, it's still under the 200 SMA. It's still in a bearish pattern, by the way. We should recognize that. If you come over here, you can see that this looks like the MACD is about to move into another green. I think it dropped down a little bit here, but it was enough to kind of save it. And as you zoom in, you can see that the move seems to be back to the upside. Seems to be moving back towards that upside. But you're going to have to get over the 200 SMA in order to make any sort of positive move. Hold on one second. And no, I didn't. It doesn't show up here. So no, I'm being told that Richie is gifting 10 memberships to people. Oh, I'm over here. Yeah. So thank you very much. Richie's Plain Talk has just gifted 10 Believes Crypto memberships. Thank you so much, Richie. I appreciate you. And yeah, I don't look, I never see it over here. Sorry about that. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for that. Anyway, let's get the information out there. Shib 1277. Dude, I really appreciate that. 1277 on the Shib. Saitama 2400, starting to move back into the pause, but it's really just kind of, you know, like, look, Saitama's broken down again, not in a super bad way. Didn't, you know, just didn't continue that trend. They had this thing over the weekend. I didn't see anything. Like, I watched part of it, and I didn't see any reason to get excited. So just not one of those announcements that was going to make a gigantic deal to anybody. So, but they were in England making the announcement, and I put it this way: it wasn't anything that I even remembered. How about that? So, but Wagme 4603. Lillian 5942, Cato 1297, Coin Merge is at 3607, Volt is at 1661, Bone 186, BRL 159, and Bet is at 20 cents, kind of moving a little bit sideways. By the way, if you're looking for something like Bet, this is a gambling site that I'm partnered with right now. You can look at this thing right here and see that it really kind of looks like that's that first little opportunity to take off. Like, if it continues in here, then, you know, the likely scenario is this thing breaking towards the upside, and it's not going to be anything to get to a 12 or a 15 million market cap for a betting website. And as you can see right here, it's based on PvP and games that you can play online. So, you know, opportunity exists over here. So we'll see how it plays out. But moving back over here to Volt 1661. Look, I think something big is happening. Something very big is on the horizon. Now, we've moved back under the 200 and the 50 SMA, just like a lot of tokens over the last bunch of days. And now I think that, get a good move and then it pumps right back up, right? We've got positivity in the market for the moment. We've got the pumps are kind of continuing. So now the question is, can we use this and can we create this as an opportunity and capitalize? Remember, there's still 3 centralized tier 1 exchanges, top 10, by the way, coming for Volt. Polygon is coming for Volt. And by the way, I've had an enormous amount of people that have come to me talking about the Volt tokens. So let's close this out by talking about how the Volt tokens worked or work, right? So there's a bridge, right? And that bridge was between the Ethereum bridge and the Binance chain. And there were 69 trillion tokens in circulation, a maximum supply of 69 trillion tokens in circulation on each side. Now, does that mean that there's 138 trillion? No, that means that there's 69 trillion and they're being shared as a max supply going across both chains. Now, what does that mean? Well, in order to do that, there has to be an equal amount in the bridge to allow for the bridging to go back and forth. So, are there 138 trillion tokens? Yes, there's 69 trillion that are shared between the two sides, and then there's 69 trillion in the bridge that goes back and forth, that allows for the transfer of the tokens to go back and forth. Well, how did that work out? Well, what happened was all of the burns, 44.85 trillion, were done inside the bridge, leaving only, 25 trillion, 24.15 trillion tokens left in the bridge. Plus, there were some that were added to each one of the burn wallets in order to increase the number of burns on both chains. Then we're moving to the Polygon chain, right? Now there's going to be that same thing exists, only there's going to be 25 trillion in the middle, 24.15 trillion that's going to be in the bridge to move tokens back and forth. Now, in the meantime, there's going to be another group of investors, imagine 10,000 or 20,000 holders like there are on each one of these chains. Imagine another 20,000 holders splitting supply of that 69 trillion, because again, you can't go over the 69 trillion because the rest is called bridge liquidity. So you're not going to go over that, right? So all it's doing is sucking and pulling tokens from different directions. It's pulling from the Ethereum side, it's pulling from the BNB side, and eventually there's going to be enough people holding enough tokens that the supply is, aside from reducing, the supply is going to have a run on it because everybody's holding on to tokens. So, ta-da. Binance bans, all right. I don't see anything about it right now. No, I see Kraken in the United States. That I don't see anything from Binance at this point. Doesn't mean there won't be an article about it very, very shortly. Maybe it's something that we're seeing happen all of the sudden and at once. No, no, there's nothing to that. So, but anyway, back. Well, if you can't, then it's a new thing. It doesn't look like anybody knows anything about it. And they've been doing some crazy shit the last few days. I have no idea what's going on with Binance, but they seem a little bit disheveled in how they're doing stuff. But anyway, so the liquidity moves between 3 different spots on Volt, and then it's going to create a run on the price. Today, the market cap is 103 million. Once Polygon launches, once people can start buying over there, once it starts creating a little bit of FOMO around, then the next thing you know, there's going to be a run on the supply, and there's not going to be enough supply to go around, and that creates a crunch, and that creates a price pump, right? That's how it works. So, and then of course, if you come over here and you look at view the contract over here, and you look at the number of holders, then you can see that the dead wallet on the Ethereum side has 6.749 trillion tokens, which means for the reflections, it's accumulating more tokens than it was before every single day. But here's the important part. The important part is the BNB side. If you come over here and you look at the Volt on the BNB side, trading at 14.49 today. But if you come in here and you look at the holders, the dead wallet over here has 42.65 trillion. 61% of total supply is in the dead wallet. So there are massive amounts of reflections going every single day into the wallet for the volume that's trading over here, which is about $70,000. So, and give or take, it's going to have a good day, it's going to have bad days, but there's trading volume, and it is creating a run on the supply slowly and over time, but it has picked up dramatically in the last bunch of days. And if you come over here to Crypti, then we got to do this. Will be the last thing, and then we've got to break out of here. Volt. If you look at the burn tracker, then you can see only a little bit burned, $7.69 in the past hour. But look right here, $4,000 were burned in the past day. 37,000 was burned in the last week off of that 65 million that's already been burned, right? So there's a significant amount that's still being burned all of the time on Volt. And then you come over here and you're at 62,822. Guys, it was just days ago that we were talking about 59,900 and we were getting excited to hit 60,000. Well, we're already at 63,000 holders and steadily climbing. So what's going on at Volt is just continuing and continuing and continuing to build up as we go. So, so let's see how the markets go. This is not financial advice. My name is Bleeves. I'm always right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Richard, Richie, I can't even tell you how much that meant to me. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. For those of you that didn't see it, Richie gave away 10 memberships to the channel and a donation. So thank you so much, Richie. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. Remember, subscribe to the channel. That certainly helps me out. If you can't, super chats always help. If you can't, sharing the content with any and everybody that you know also helps me tremendously. And we will talk to you again for Bedtime with Bleeves tonight.
I'm looking for the good life, good life. Sitting on top of the world, I wanna be shining like diamonds and pearls. I want you to go there with me, girl. I'm looking for the good life, good life.